Well, week one's behind us, and the journey is officially started. We're 42 weeks out from my very first XTERRA off-road triathlon. Welcome to the Longship Medic. Let's get moving. So, week one is officially in the books. I want to start this whole XTERRA journey off with the most humble and honest message I can give you. One of the worst things you can do when starting a new training regimen is jumping right into it before you're ready. You know, you get this guy who grabs this 16-week training meant for high-speed athletes that's supposed to get you all the way to tier 1 demigod status. But by Wednesday, they're limping and they can't walk and they can't continue. And it's one of the quickest ways to guarantee that you're not going to succeed. Okay, I've seen it as a trainer. I've seen it as a medic. I've lived it myself. Funny story real quick. I've given myself rhabdo before because my ego was writing checks that my legs just couldn't cash. Okay? And I don't want to be that guy for this race. So, what did week one look like? The goal of this baseline week is to give you the truth.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
The truth hurts sometimes, but the truth protects you from two things, and that's, number one, overestimating yourself and getting hurt, or number two, underestimating yourself and just making this whole thing a waste of time. All right, from the beginning I said I was going to be totally transparent, so here's where I'm at right now. Week one was all about honesty and not ego, so might as well lay it out there for everybody. Here's my distances. Remember, this is pre-training, so I'm charting my daily steps and runs together as one. Soon I will just be tracking my runs, but for right now, I want to see what my body can handle in a week. 30 miles on my feet is not that bad. But there are two huge glaring problems, and that's this and this. Yeah, big old goose eggs. So, yes, I plan on remedying that. That's going to be one of my first fixes. Next, and one of the things that I have never tracked before in my life, but I'm going to be doing for this journey, is my sleep trends. So, an average score of 83 with a resting heart rate of 44 BPM. I'm pretty happy with the heart rate, but I'd like to see that 83 get a little bit higher. And, you know, that's not easy. As a full-time dad and a full-time student and a full-time employee, I have a lot to juggle, and getting a full sleep schedule can be a challenge. And I know a lot of you guys can probably identify with that. Real quick, I want to cover the least important but most watched section of any of these transformations. It's my weight. So where are we at? Okay, so we're down in weight. That's great. I think if I kept this consistent kind of weight loss, I would be where I want to be. But, you know, that fluctuates every week. So there's going to be multiple weeks where either I don't go down or I go up a little bit. And my message is, don't get wrapped around the weights, okay? If you're doing the training and you're building the muscle, it's all going to come to fruition, okay? So that brings me to me checking into my own body, right? That's the most important part of this first week, is how does my body actually feel and how is it reacting? As a medic, I diagnosed myself with, well, what the hell did you expect syndrome, if that makes sense. My calves pretty much feel like they want to secede from the rest of my body, or start their own anything but running political campaign. So, you know, into the ice they go. And again and again and again, as I've said multiple times here, consistency is key. So all we're trying to do is keep up the recovery as much as we're keeping up the training. And because of that, I'm going to be starting each day with additional mobility. I'm going to be working at keeping my heart rate zones constant, but working up the pace of my current distances. Included in this, I'm going to incorporate some biomechanics exercises that you might see in the next video, just to help my body remember what it feels like to run correctly. Other than that, I just have to keep it up. I need to continue to work to optimize my recovery days to make sure they reflect my current conditioning, reinforce nutrition and hydrate better, and just make sure I'm making room for technique sessions instead of just grinding through every workout. So if you're thinking about starting any training plan, whether it's XTERRA, marathon, Ironman, bodybuilding, whatever, give yourself a baseline week. Also, it doesn't have to be just 1 week. Listen to your body. If you really want this, and trust me, you do, you're going to keep going. So maybe there's a 2-week baseline period or a 3-week. That's okay. I wouldn't make it 2 months. But while the motivation is high, learn your body. If you really want this thing, you're going to push through. So I hope you want to follow this journey. And if you do, go down, hit the like, hit the subscribe to follow each of these updates as I go from a 35-year-old vet to an XTERRA triathlete. And more importantly, as I raise money for TBI research for the SWIC community and raise money for transition services and resources for SEALs and SWICs transitioning out of the military into civilian life. Guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Stay safe, stay ready, and I'll see you in the next one.